Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to give you a little bit more support, and I'm hoping that this video will break down your Unit 7 project. We are close to that finish line, and I think this project will be really interesting, but I also think that it can be a challenge if you don't have the right support. So hopefully this helps. So the directions are here. Watch the instructions video. That's this. Posted on Schoology. I'll also have videos for day 1 and day 2 to break that what you should be doing on those days a little bit more. Um, Keep in mind, you're going to be working on this for this week. So for both classes, this document doesn't need to be completed or submitted until Friday, April 16th. So part of your asynchronous work for this Friday will also be to make sure that you've put any finishing touches, you've completed this assignment, and you've submitted it, right? And that will all happen before 2 p.m. on Friday. All right, so here is your claim evidence reasoning prompt. Is it ethical for scientists to alter genetic information in living organisms? We're specifically going to look at humans and more specifically babies, but in order to understand this fully, you should have watched the Edpuzzle video from last week that broke that down. I'll provide it again just in case you didn't see it. But you also need some more background information. So I'm going to read this background information to you just to kind of help you out. So genetic engineering, also called gene editing or genetic modification, is the process of altering an organism's DNA in order to change a trait. This can mean changing a single base pair, adding or deleting a single gene, or changing an even larger strand of DNA. Using genetic engineering, genes from one organism can be added to the genome of a completely different species. It is even possible to experiment with producing and inserting novel or new genes in hopes of creating new traits. Okay, so that just talks about how we can change those. Remember, when we talk about base pairs, we're talking about those A, T, C, Gs, and DNA. Many products and therapies have already been developed using genetic engineering. For example, crops with higher nutritional value, improved taste, or resistance to pests have been engineered by adding genes from one plant species into another. Similarly, expression of a human genome gene in yeast and bacteria allows pharmaceutical companies to produce insulin to treat diabetic patients. In 2020, scientists had their first successful human trial with CRISPR, a genetic engineering technique to correct a mutant gene that causes sickle cell anemia, a painful and sometimes deadly blood disease. This is all true information. A lot of what you're going to be looking at, let me tell you right now, it is currently happening. This is not a question that can be answered in the past. There's no one right answer. And all of these things, CRISPR, other gene editing and genetic modification, those things are happening now, like today. There's news on that every single day. So this is really relevant to what's going on. There are many different genetic engineering techniques, including molecular cloning, so cloning molecules, and CRISPR, and new techniques are being developed rapidly. Despite this variety, all genetic engineering projects involve carrying out 4 main steps. So this is basically saying what are the overall steps that scientists use to edit genes. So first, identify the trait to be introduced or eliminated or otherwise changed or modified. 2, determining what piece of DNA needs to be added or removed in order to get the desired trait modification. 3, making the physical modification to the organism's DNA. And 4, verifying that the trait has been modified as desired, actually making sure you did what you wanted to do. I also wanted to give you the term, defining the term ethical. I know that for some people you might be like, I'm not sure what ethical means. Ethical just means if something is morally right or wrong, right? And so different people have different ethics. And so Some people, for example, might say it's not ethical to steal, right? But someone might say, well, it's ethical to steal if you need to feed a loved one or you need to feed a family and you can't do that or something like that. So I'm not here to say what's right or wrong. I'm just saying that this is what you, not me, what you are going to be considering. What do you think? So here are some possible claims. You can use these claims as part of your claim evidence reasoning. If you have a different claim, just message me off to the side saying, hey, Ms. P, I have a different claim that I want to use. Is it cool, right? So one possible claim is no, it's not ethical for scientists to alter genetic information in living organisms. It's possible, right? That's one of them. Another possible claim could be, yes, it is ethical for scientists to alter genetic information in living organisms. Sure. Yeah. A third one could be, it is only ethical for scientists to alter genetic information in living organisms when it is for medical purposes. So the third one is basically saying it's ethical only when we're using it for medical purposes. Okay. Yeah. You can message me on the side if you have questions about that, but I think those are probably the three strongest ones. Again, if you have a different one, just let me know. All right, so day one. So here's what you're doing. You're going to be doing some research. I'll get into that in the next day one video. And you're just going to be recording that there, right? These are all live links. So obviously you would watch read 2 articles, watch 1 video. You're going to record that information here. And then at the end, you're going to say, what's the claim that you're kind of thinking about? And for day 2, that's when you're going to use the information from the table on top to really fill out, hey, what's your claim? What's the evidence? What's the reasoning? And so it's really actually important that you do spend some time on this research table because it's kind of like giving you some notes. And then you'll be able to use your own notes in this claim evidence reasoning. The grading rubric is over here, and it kind of breaks down what's the expectation for the claim, the evidence, and the reasoning. And if you have questions for me, feel free to reach out. So this is just the overall explanation video, but you should probably be watching the day 1 video next. If it's day 1, and if it's day 2, watch the day 2 video. Hope this helped. Bye.